remember the first song I ever learned on the piano. I was 3 years old, and it was a classic that I'm sure you're all familiar with, Bug in a Rug. Yes, right? You know, okay, sing along, right? Here's a little bug sitting in a rug. He looks pretty snug, silly little bug. Right? Oh, it's so good. Oh, I love it. I mean, I don't know if it was like the musicality of it or it was just this picture of this really cute smiley bug. He's like happy despite the fact that he's like crushed in this said rug that he's stuck in. But it was super cute and I loved it and it's just a favorite of mine. And from the day I learned that song, I wanted to learn more. So my mom told me when I was 6 that I could take piano lessons. So on my 6th birthday, I didn't start lessons on my 6th birthday. My 6th birthday, we moved from Syracuse to Cleveland, which is not much of an upgrade. Also, not much of a birthday present. It's kind of a crappy birthday present. But I was excited because I was 6, and that meant piano lessons. So the day after my 6th birthday, I wake up, eat my Wheaties, and Mom says, go outside and play. So I run out the door in search of a piano teacher and some friends, because I needed some of those. So this consisted of me going door to door, knock, 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 and asking first, do you teach piano? And then if they answered no, which most of them did, okay, well then do you have a 6-year-old that I can play with? Like, so after a couple hours of canvassing the suburbs of Cleveland, I raced home with Mrs. Robinson's name and phone number on a piece of paper. I'm so excited. I burst through the door, a little perturbed too. Is Mom, I found my piano teacher, but she wouldn't teach me today. She said, you have to call her first, so will you please call her? And thus began my journey towards becoming a concert pianist. And I continued playing all throughout my childhood. It was everything I worked for to get ready for college and then to be a concert pianist. Auditions went great. My hard work paid off, and I seemingly had my choice of some of the top music schools in the country. At which point, my parents informed me that financially, I had my choice of the one state school that I had applied to. So, in the fall of 1998, I very happily began pursuing my Bachelor's of Music as a piano performance major at JMU. And I do? Yeah, Dukes. Yes. Yes. I was a realist though, right? Music it's a tough industry. You want to have a backup plan. So I was a vocal performance minor. I played the guitar too, because I was going to be the next Jewel, right? If, in case world famous concert pianist doesn't work out, don't worry parents, I have a backup plan. I'll just be a world famous singer-songwriter. It's like foolproof, right? It's a really good plan. So, I lived in the windowless practice rooms in the basement of Wayland Hall, hours and hours a day. And very quickly I learned that my body was not ready for that type of repetitive movement and that type of work. And my hands started, I'd play and then my hands would swell so they just connected to my elbows. My wrists would get all big, and it made it so I couldn't move my fingers. So Bug in a Rug was really hard. The Beethoven Sonata wasn't happening. I couldn't, it was so painful. I couldn't open a soda can. Okay, a beer can, it was college. I couldn't open the beer. That was really rough. But after months and months of doctors and physical therapy and accommodations, it wasn't getting better. And it was like this dream that I had in my grasp from my 6th birthday that I was holding on to so tight. I couldn't hold on to anymore because my hands were all swollen and weak, and I was just watching my dream just slip away. And that sucked. It felt like it hit rock bottom. And then I found out I was pregnant. So yeah, woo, yeah, that's what I said, woo. That was really exciting. So now my then boyfriend at the time, his version of retelling the story is a little different than mine at this point. So he remembers that I show up, puffy face, crying. I have this little paper bag, and when I open the bag and empty the contents, it becomes this Mary Poppins bag, and hundreds of positive pregnancy tests come cascading out. He's dodging them, and they're everywhere, and it's just getting buried, and they're hitting him in the face. It's horrible. It was two positive pregnancy tests. just the one baby. I just took it twice to be sure. But I get it, right? It was a heavy situation, and it felt like we were drowning, and it was big. So that night we sat together, we cried a lot, we held each other, we talked a lot, and we decided to have an abortion. Over the next couple weeks and days, and there's a lot more talking, a lot more crying. And what we talked about was that, how much we loved each other, how we knew we wanted to get married. We knew we were going to get married someday. We knew we wanted to have kids together someday. And for us to say that this one was inconvenient, it didn't feel like the right choice for us. Having a dorm baby didn't feel like the right choice either. So we dropped out of school, moved back to Northern Virginia, got married before I got like this big, got really crappy paying jobs, but with good health insurance, because I don't know if you guys know this, babies are very expensive to have. And on Halloween of 2000, our beautiful son, Caleb, was born, and he was perfect. Thank you. Over the past 2 decades at this point, right? I've thought about going back. The time was never right? I'd found another life dream that I didn't even know I had, as middle management in the glamorous world of strategic pricing. Yeah, it's awesome. But when Caleb came back from his college tours and he said his number one choice was JMU, go Dukes, we were so excited. And then I learned that they have an adult degree program. I could go back with Caleb, like back to where it all started, and I could get my degree too. Oh, that would be so cool. So he secretly applied. And when I got in, I was very excited. When Caleb got waitlisted, yeah. So I kept I kept my good news to myself, and I tried to. So he checks the mail one day, like he never does, sees a letter from JMU, so excited, opens it, so congratulations, blah, blah, blah. Then realized it's addressed Dear Karen. Might be why he was waitlisted, not very observant. But so I get this text, it says, WTF, you can get into JMU and I can't. All right, the inflection I added because clearly there was no punctuation. It was just that. I respond with, twice, honey? I get in twice. All the punctuation, very clear on the inflection. I deleted that, I didn't send it. I've given him enough over the years to keep some therapist on some yacht, she's fine. But I responded with something much more supportive and encouraging, don't worry, you'll get yours acceptance is coming, and we'll be roomies, it'll be so fun. He was totally amused by that. He wasn't. So we're not roommates, but he did get in. He's very much enjoying his freshman year at JMU. Hopefully not as much as I did, because I don't want to be a grandma yet. And I am enjoying rediscovering that I have not gained any more time management skills over the past 20 years. And balancing work and life and school is challenging, but it's fun and it's rewarding, and I think it'll open up the doors to whatever my next dream is after strategic pricing is done. And in the meantime, I have not given up on the next jewel. So if anybody was really stirred by my moving rendition of Bug in a Rug, I will be taking pre-orders from my CD at the merch table over here after the show, so please come by and see me. Thank you.